this series of videos, we've been talking a lot about moving from a traditional approach with database change management to a DevOps approach where database change management becomes a part of a DevOps agile delivery system. We're talking about a delivery system which delivers value, real value to the business much faster than they're able to before. We talked about the fact that the database was a challenge simply because the database stores the business data and therefore it's risky to make any kind of change. But really, with the right processes and the right leadership and the vision driving it, and investment in the right tools, it's a solution that you can embrace. So we talked about some of the steps involved with that. We talked about the development aspects, how do developers make changes to their code in a way that become safe, automated, without compromising quality, without compromising performance, and become part of an automated pipeline. We also talked about monitoring, and the need for monitoring came from a need to make sure and understand and mitigate the risk of these changes as they're moving rapidly down the DevOps pipeline, and make sure we're not setting ourselves up for potential failure by just assuming everything is fine and moving into production only then to find out that we have some major performance issues. And then finally, we talked about what happens if you need to move data that you've just deployed into that production system to some other database environment, even if it's in the cloud. What's the safest way to do that, where we don't have any downtime, we don't have any data loss, and we have business continuity, and everybody is happy. Quest Software has a number of solutions in its information management portfolio which allow database developers to automate a lot of the processes they do. It doesn't take anything away from the way that developers work. At the end of the day, developers want to innovate. They want to write code. Nothing changes. But what we can do is automate a lot of those processes so that they become part of the DevOps pipeline. We talked about Foglight, which is our monitoring tool, which will enable any changes that are made in that DevOps pipeline, if it causes a negative impact on performance, to highlight that so that that can be fixed quickly. And finally, we talked about Shareplex, which is our replication solution for moving data once it's deployed into production into other database environments safely without any data loss. If you want to learn more about some of the aspects that I've talked about in this video series, if you go to our website, quest.com, and then put in /solutions/DevOps, you'll see a lot of information there that focuses on the bigger picture. So it talks about, how do we get from modifying the way we work in development through successfully deploying these changes much more rapidly through a DevOps pipeline, as well as more detailed information about some of the solutions we talked about, so the Toad solution, Foglight, and Shareplex, together with some case studies. Case studies are always interesting because you get an independent perspective of how our solutions help a particular business, looking at the business aspects as well as the technical aspects of how we're able to help a company.